Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, back again. It's been a couple weeks here with the J.Raw Wrestling Weekly Podcast for August the 2nd. Took a couple weeks off because of my daughter's graduation and party and the fact that she's going to be moving into the dorm soon. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and start the other camera angle before I get really into it. I just didn't get a chance. Hold on. Be right back. Give me like 5 seconds. All right, I'm back. It was just real quick. Wanted to just set up the other camera angle because I'm going to be incorporating different little chops up of segments of the weekly podcast. First and foremost, want to take the time out to thank everybody who reached out to me while I was dealing with some personal issues. In that time, I was actually able to get two new sponsors. The first sponsor for the overall J.Raw Wrestling podcast will be Fightful.com. And that's where I'm going to be getting a lot of my results and news from now on. I want to shout out Sean Ross Sapp and Jimmy Van Zandt and the whole staff for reaching out to me and just letting you know that they got your boy back. And going to be doing some things. I'm looking forward to, if everything go right, going out to StarCast 3 in Chicago, doing the podcast live for All Out, the anniversary of All In. You know how much I love AEW, besides, WWE and Ring of Honor and New Japan. All right. Like I said, I got the first sponsor out of the way. The second sponsor is from a good friend of mine. Want to shout out Le Creme Nail Spa, located up in New York. Want to shout out my good friend, official Delana. And also, I started back up a new Facebook group that I'll be featuring a lot of women wrestlers and also just women and celebrating women in general. It's called Women in Boy Shorts. Something I created in 2010, but I decided to use that platform and I reached out to a new sponsor that we're going to have for a new segment that's going to be coming up later on. And the sponsor is La Creme Nail Spa. Like I said, get all your hair, nail, beauty needs from my good friend and going to be more than a friend, but I'll leave her nameless. Just make sure you guys check her out. Her Instagram is on One Struggle ENT and also Mr. One Struggle ENT. Also, want to give a quick update on the showcase last Friday with my big bro and partner of crime, DJ Hardcore Productions. It was a great show. Want to shout out the King of Hooks, Corey Wims, getting the Majestic Award. And also shouting out Noj G, Reno Bryce, and everybody else that was able to come out. Make sure we pulled off a successful event. And once again, the J.Raw Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by Fightful.com. Make sure y'all go there to get all your wrestling needs. I want to thank my former peoples from WrestleInc.com, Raj, and everybody else from their staff. I just want to thank y'all for allowing me to use you guys as a resource. But I'm sponsored by a new company now by the name of Fightful.com. Like I said, y'all going to be seeing a lot of things. We're going to be teaming up, doing a lot of stuff. So just make sure you check that out. Now, as far as a potential new sponsor, I haven't landed anything yet, but we are going to have a new sponsor for the One Struggle Radio, the music and the sports podcast. I'm going to have some announcements later on this month about that. So really look out for that. All right, so without further ado, everybody know what we here for and what we came here to do. Make sure if you want to leave something in the chat, you can go ahead and leave something in the chat for your boy. Also, if you want some more information about the next showcase coming up August 31st, once again at 700 West Tabor Road, your boy, like I said, the press, fortunately, everything go right. I won't be there, but it'll be for a good reason. Like I said, is I'm going to be doing this podcast live, everything go right, in Chicago for Starcast 3 weekend and for the All Out show. All I believe is August 30th. So I have a reminder set up for that, and also have an event set up in Woman and Boy Shorts Facebook group. Pretty much announcing that I will be planning to go out there. If I don't go out there, I'm still going to do the live podcast after the show. If it don't be that Saturday night, it'll definitely be the next day, which will be I got a schedule for September the 1st. So make sure you guys look out for that. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get in the Raw highlights. Like I said, once again, the J.Raw Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by Fightful.com. And that's where I got all my results for Raw and SmackDown. Also want to continue to shout out WrestleLink. I did get the AEW results from WrestleLink. Fortunately, Sean, I don't want to put my boss on blast, but he got to get on his job. I need that AEW coverage, but that's why they bringing me on board to help out. So, all right. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the Raw highlights. Okay. The show starts out with a video package highlighting the 24/7 championship. All right. And then the show starts off with everybody in the ring for the 24/7 championship, a mosh pit mixed tag team match, with your champ, R-Truth, and Carmella, of course, going up against Dre Maverick and his wife, Renee Michelle, which is a potential top WB model of the week, but that's here nor there. All right, so the match begins with Maverick rolling up Truth for a near fall right as the bell sounds. Truth recovers to hit Maverick with a hip toss, followed by a leg drop. Truth back body drops Maverick out of the ring in the mosh pit, throws him back in. Then Truth hits Maverick with a flapjack for a near fall. Carmella and Michelle have a brawl inside the ring that is broken up by the men. Carmella slaps Maverick and Truth nails him with the front suplex for a 3 count. And there you have it. R-Truth and Carmella going over on Drake Maverick and Renee Michelle. And R-Truth kept the title. Now, after the match, the mosh pit enters the ring and they all pin R-Truth for a 3 count. Mike Kanellis wins the title and he runs backstage while the others chase him. Kanellis makes it into the locker room and he locks the door to keep everybody out. But of course, his wife, Maria Kanellis, feigns pregnancy pain. She fakes pregnancy pains to get into the locker room. All right, so next we have a gauntlet match to determine AJ Styles' opponent for SummerSlam. All right, your contestants were Rey Mysterio, Cesaro, Andrade, Sami Zayn, and Ricochet. Okay, the first match was Rey Mysterio versus Cesaro. Now, the match begins with Cesaro scoring a takedown and rolling Mysterio up for a few near falls. Mysterio catches Cesaro in a roll-up before landing a leg kick. Mysterio catches Cesaro in another roll-up before eating a clothesline. Cesaro follows up by landing an elbow drop for a near fall. Cesaro traps Mysterio in the corner before landing a few European uppercuts. Cesaro then applies a chin lock to Mysterio. Mysterio gets free and he uses a Rana to get Cesaro out of the ring with him on his shoulders. Mysterio uses a Hurricane Rana to propel Cesaro into the ring post. Mysterio follows that up by nailing Cesaro with a sliding splash on the arena floor. Now, Mysterio gets Cesaro in the ring and he lands a springboard Hurricanrana. Mysterio goes for the 619 and Cesaro retreats to the arena floor. Mysterio then hits Cesaro with a Hurricanrana that sends him into the barricade as we go to commercial break. Now we return from commercial break to see Mysterio barely beating a 10 count into the ring. Cesaro keeps Mysterio cornered while landing a double stomp followed by a middle rope elbow drop for a near fall. Cesaro keeps Mysterio down by holding him in the camel clutch. Mysterio gets free and Cesaro plants him on the top rope. Cesaro meets Mysterio on the top rope and Mysterio knocks him off the ropes. Mysterio then hits Cesaro with a seating senton before sending him into the corner. Now Cesaro goes for a sunset flip and Mysterio rolls through before landing a head kick for a near fall. Mysterio goes for a springboard move and then Cesaro counters with the European uppercut for a near fall. Cesaro then nails Mysterio with a leg drop and a big boot for another near fall. Cesaro goes for a powerbomb as Mysterio counters by sending him into the ring post. Mysterio goes to the top rope and Cesaro knocks him off. Cesaro then placed Mysterio on his shoulders while climbing the ropes. Now Mysterio goes for a Super Rana and then Cesaro blocks it from happening. Mysterio eventually finds a way to hit Cesaro with a Super Bulldog. Mysterio then hits Cesaro with a 619 and a frog splash for a 3 count. So we have Cesaro eliminated. Now the second match was Rey Mysterio versus Sami Zayn. The match begins with Zayn jumping Mysterio from behind before stomping away on him. Mysterio shocks a charging Zayn with the roll-up for a 3 count, and then Sami Zayn gets eliminated. All right, so match 3, we have Rey Mysterio versus Andrade with Selena Vega, another top WB model of the week, Selena Vega. The match begins with Andrade backing Mysterio into the corner before taunting him. Mysterio goes behind Andrade, and Andrade nails him with the elbow strike. Andrade then wrenches away on the arm of Mysterio. Mysterio gets free, and Andrade backs him into the corner before landing a chop. Mysterio fights back, and he nails Andrade with a body press for a near fall. Mysterio gets Andrade in a headlock, and Andrade sends him into the corner for a near fall. Now Andrade corners Mysterio again before landing a running clothesline. Andrade then stomps away on Mysterio before landing a drop kick for a near fall. Andrade follows that up by tossing Mysterio to the arena floor. Now Andrade follows Mysterio out of the ring before hitting him in the back of the head. Andrade gets Mysterio back in the ring before landing more chops. Mysterio fights back and Andrade nails him with a few suplexes. Andrade goes to the top rope as he lands a double jump moonsault for a near fall. Mysterio fights back and he nails Andrade with the Ingazuri. Mysterio goes for the 619 and Andrade counters by landing a backbreaker. Andrade then hits Mysterio with a DDT for the 3 count. And then you have Rey Mysterio getting eliminated by Andrade. Now, match 4 was Andrade with the Zelina Vega versus Ricochet. The match begins with Ricochet attacking Andrade to save Mysterio from a post-match attack, and then we go to commercial break. We return from break to see Andrade backing Ricochet into the corner before taunting him. Ricochet trips up Andrade before landing a head scissors takedown, and a few moments later, Ricochet then uses a drop kick to knock Andrade out of the ring. Vega distracts Ricochet, and it doesn't work as he brawls with Andrade afterwards. Vega distracts Ricochet again, and Andrade knocks him to the arena floor. Andrade follows Ricochet out of the ring while attacking him with strikes. Andrade then throws Ricochet into the barricade. Now Ricochet gets up back in the ring and Andrade stomps away on him. Ricochet fights back and then he nails Andrade with a rolling drop kick. Then Ricochet and Andrade have a striking exchange in the middle of the ring. Ricochet then takes Andrade down with a Hurricane Rana. Ricochet nails Andrade in the midsection before missing a springboard move. Andrade then plants a charging Ricochet in the corner. Andrade then nails Ricochet with a running double knee strike for a near fall. Andrade goes for a DDT and Ricochet counters with a small package for a near fall. Andrade then nails Ricochet with a spinning elbow strike. Ricochet recovers and nails Andrade with a reverse Rana for a near fall. Ricochet goes to the top and Andrade trips him. Andrade meets Ricochet on the top rope and they exchange strikes until Andrade goes down. Ricochet then hits Andrade with the 630 for the 3 count. And then the final man that was eliminated was Andrade. By, of course, Ricochet. All right, now, Kyle Braxton interviews Ricochet after the match. And Ricochet talks about winning the WWE United States title for the first time. And he's AJ Styles for the gold at the SummerSlam. All right, so we get Mike Kanellis is celebrating with the WWE 24/7 title with Maria backstage when she tells him to get down on his back. Of course, Mike obliges and Maria pins him to win the 24/7 championship. Maria leaves the locker room area and taunts everybody about being a champion and pregnant, which I did watch it, and I will give it a little bit. It was a nice little twist to kind of like, I guess, keep the storyline for the 24/7 championship going. I mean, you guys, you can leave your opinions on here, or you can leave your opinions on all the Facebook groups. I mean, shout out to my Russell K boys. Now I'm saying WC for Life, also True Hills, Marked Out Club, and I can't forget the Podcast University as well. All Facebook groups I'm all part of, as well as my own Facebook group, Woman and Boy Shirts, sponsored by the Creme Nail Spa. All right. So make sure you guys go there. All you ladies, make sure you go to La Creme to get your nails done up. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a little trip right outside NY, but you know, y'all make sure y'all go see my peoples. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say what she is to me yet, but y'all make sure y'all go check her out and check the nail supply out. All right, so let's get back to these Raw results. All right, so now we have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are shown backstage. Now, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come on the stage for a moment of bliss. Now, Bliss congratulates Maria Kanellis on winning the WWE 24/7 championship. Now, Cross and Bliss talk about last week's Raw reunion, and Bliss talks about how Dolph Ziggler betrayed the WWE family by attacking Shawn Michaels last week on SmackDown Live. Bliss shows the tape of Natalya and Fit Finlay training some women wrestlers before Raw. Now, Becky Lynch arrives to low blow Finlay and lock Natalya in the disarmer. Now, Bliss rips apart the WWE universe for cheering it what Lynch did. Cross believes Lynch wants to take out Natalya before they match at WWE's SummerSlams, which is coming up. Bliss promised to knock Lynch down a few pegs in their match tonight, and Lynch appears on the big screen to tell Bliss that she and Cross will pay for their comments. The Usos interrupt and make their way to the ring for the Raw Tag Team title match. All right, so we get a tag team title match with the Revival, of course, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, who are the champs, going up against the OC, no longer the OGs, they call it the OCs, and that's Luke Gallo, and I'm going to call him his real nickname, the machine gun, Carl Anderson. Of course, versus the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. All right, so the match begins with Jimmy taking Dawson down while applying a head scissors. Dawson gets free and gets a headlock on Jimmy. Jimmy gets free and he nails Dawson with the shoulder tackle before eating a back elbow strike. Dawson corners Jimmy before landing a few strikes. Dawson then hits Jimmy with the back suplex before tagging Wilder in. Now, Wilder nails Jimmy with the headbutt for a near fall. Now, Jimmy fights back as he tags Jay into the match. Jay then nails corner Wilder with the avalanche, followed by a headbutt for a near fall. Now, Wilder recovers as he nails Jay with a few strikes. Dawson tags in and he nails Jay with some more strikes. Now, Dawson holds Jay down while applying a chin lock to him, and Jay gets free as he nails Dawson with a back body drop. Wilder tags in Jay, and Jay nails him with a side kick in the midsection. Now, Jimmy tags in and he drops Wilder for a near fall. Jay tags back in and he nails the arm of Wilder with the top rope axe handle smash. Then Jay holds Wilder down while wrenching away on his arm. Dawson tags in and he gets Jay in a sleeper hold. Then Jay gets free and Wilder tags back into the match. Wilder places Jay on the top rope as he follows him there. Jay knocks off Wilder off the top rope before landing a cross body block for a near fall. Jay then drops Wilder with a right before getting sent out of the ring. Gallo interferes and nails Jay with the clothesline as we go to commercial break. We return from the break and we see Anderson holding Jay in a chin lock. Anderson released the hold to kick Jay in the head for a near fall. Gallows tags in and he attacks a cornering Jay with a ton of strikes. Gallows then hits Jay with the elbow drop for a near fall. Now, Gallows keeps Jay down while holding him in a chin lock. Jay gets free and Anderson tags in into the match. Anderson quickly drops Jay with a hard Irish whip into the corner for a near fall. Anderson holds Jay down while wrenching away on his arm. Jay gets free and he drops Anderson with the right. Jimmy and Wilder get tagged into the match. Jimmy quickly starts cleaning house again in the opposing teams. Jimmy hits Dawson with a running butt smash. Jimmy goes for a top rope high cross body and Wilder rolls through. Jimmy shoves Wilder into Anderson before landing a Samoan drop for a near fall. Dawson interferes and he tags in Jimmy and hit Wilder with an atomic drop. Dawson and Wilder hit Jimmy with a super bulldog for a near fall. Anderson hits the ring and he quickly gets sent out with Dawson. Gallows then hit Dawson with a big boot. Wilder then hits Gallows with a tornado DDT on the arena floor before Jay lands a suicide dive. Dawson and Jimmy do battle in the corner, and Dawson bashes Jimmy in the face on the top of the ring post. Dawson meets Jimmy on the top rope, and then Jimmy superplexes him onto everybody who was on the arena floor. Jimmy then gets Dawson back into the ring, and he goes for the top rope. Jimmy misses a splash as Gallo tags into the ring. The Revival then hit Jimmy with a shatter machine before taking out Jay. The OCs hit Jimmy with the Magic Killer for the three count. And there you have it. The OCs winning the Raw Tag Team Championships. And they're the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Real quick, I did watch this match. I will admit, I was very surprised that the OC actually had the Raw Tag Team Champions. So with AJ being the US champ, you can see why the OCs is making a top claim in my top 10 for stables, which I'm gonna do that today in a weekly episode. I got that top 10 that's coming up after the AEW news, all the segments. All right. So after that, Dasha Fuentes interviews AJ Styles backstage, but Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows show up to celebrate with him. Then highlights of the Raw reunion are aired. Then highlights of Dolph Ziggler, highlights are then shown of Dolph Ziggler attacking Shawn Michaels on SmackDown Live last week. The Viking Raiders are shown backstage. All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to just take a quick water break. Hold on. If I can find my water, hold on. Where's my water? Where's my water? Be right back, guys. Got to run and go get my water. Sorry about that. Y'all had to run and go get the mail too. And my water all the way on the first floor. Ugh. That's one thing about the track house. All these steps. Hold on, guys. Take this quick call real quick. Be right back. Hey, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, I was calling to see if Mr. Scotty was still coming through because he never came. And I cut the grass and everything like that. I'm back in the house now. Well, he never came. Okay. All right. So you Miss Marlene said that she want me to take her tomorrow morning. All right. So whenever you come in and get done, I'll go ahead and wash the clothes. Get something to eat too, because I'm hungry as hell. Okay. No rush, you ain't got to because I'm doing my podcast show now. So you can come by like 3 o'clock. I should be done. Okay. That's what happened on live TV when you gotta take live YouTube when you gotta take real calls. Shout out to Pops. That was my OG. Just checking in with me. All right, so we left off with the Viking Raiders being shown backstage. All right, so the Viking Raiders, of course, Eric and Ivar going up against some local talent, Johnny James and Cole Carter. Now, the match begins with Eric dropping James with the running forearm strike. Carter refuses to tag in, and Ivar nails him with the leg lariat on the arena floor. Eric then shotgun drop kicks Carter into James. Ivar tags in, and then he nails both opponents with the Bronco Buster. Eric tags in, and he's hit both opponents with the Power Slam power bomb combination, and the Viking Raiders hit James with the Viking Experience for a three count, and there you have it. The Viking Raiders going over on the local talent. All right, so the Street Profits are shown backstage and they're recapping what they seen on Raw tonight. Then Seth Rollins arrives and he's told by the Street Profits that the locker room is behind him tonight when he faces Dolph Ziggler. All right, and then of course his boo-boo, the man, Becky Lynch, was shown backstage. All right, so next we get Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross. Now the match begins with Lynch attacking Bliss with a right before scoring a few takedowns. Now Lynch then hits Bliss with a suplex. Lynch then gets Bliss away from the top ropes before rolling her up for a near fall. Now Bliss recovers and she sends Lynch into the bottom rope. Cross interferes and attacks Lynch from behind the ref's back. Bliss then uses a drop kick to knock Lynch into the arena floor. Bliss drags Lynch into the ring and Lynch fights back by landing knee strikes. Lynch then hits Bliss with a flying shoulder tackle. Lynch goes to the middle rope and Bliss drags her off for a near fall. Bliss then chokes Lynch on the middle rope. Then Bliss traps Lynch in the corner while kicking away at her. Lynch fights back and Bliss nails her with the clothesline. Bliss holds Lynch down while applying a modified abdominal stretch. Lynch gets free and Bliss rolls her up before landing a right. Okay. Then Bliss nails a down Lynch with a series of double knee strikes for another near fall. Bliss stands over Lynch while landing a bunch of strikes for another near fall. Bliss then misses a double knee strike and Lynch nails her with a drop kick. Lynch then attacks Bliss with a series of kicks. Bliss fights back and then she nails Lynch with an STO. Lynch recovers and she nails a charging Bliss with a knee strike followed by multiple clothesline. Lynch then attacks Bliss with an exploder suplex and Bliss appears to have hurt her ankle and the WWE official comes to the ring to tend to an injured Bliss. Bliss seems unable to complete and the match is called off and the winner is Becky Lynch. Now, after the match, Nikki Cross confronts Becky Lynch and they have an argument. Cross challenges Lynch to a match as we go to commercial. We come back and it's Becky Lynch with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss is in her corner. Now, the match begins with Lynch attacking Cross for a few strikes, then nails Cross with a snapmare followed by a shoulder tackle. Cross nails Lynch with a headbutt in the corner. Cross drops Lynch before applying the straitjacket hold. Lynch gets free and she nails Cross with a springboard head kick. Lynch knocks Cross into the ring apron and then Cross drapes her first on the top rope. Cross goes to the top rope and Lynch knocks her down. Lynch nails Cross with a manhandle slam for the 3 count. And there you have it. You have Becky Lynch going over on Nikki Cross. Now, after the match, Alexa Bliss attacks Becky Lynch from behind and Nikki Cross joins in on the attack. Natalya comes to the ring and Bliss and Cross exit. Natalya then locks Lynch in the sharpshooter. Now, next, we get Dasha Fuentes interviews Natalya backstage. Natalya says Becky Lynch wasn't professional and she'll beat her at SummerSlam. Natalya then challenged Lynch to a submission match at SummerSlam, but then takes the challenge back because she felt Lynch wouldn't have the guts to accept it. All right, so next we get Maria Kanellis is participating in a photo shoot backstage when Braun Strowman arrives. Maria says some unkind things to Strowman and he growls in anger. All right, now we get the main event, which is Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. Now the match begins with Rollins nailing Ziggler with the clothesline before knocking him out of the ring. Rollins follows Ziggler out of the ring before throwing him into the barricade a few times. Rollins gets Ziggler back in the ring before nailing him with more strikes. Ziggler gets back out of the ring as he attacks Rollins for a few strikes. All right. Rollins recovers to throw Ziggler into the barricade again. Rollins gets Ziggler in the ring before kicking him in the back. Now, Rollins follows that up by nailing Ziggler with the knee drop. Ziggler rolls to the ring apron and he kicks the middle of the rope into Rollins. Balls before landing a DDT on the ring apron as we go to commercial break. We return from break to see Rollins nailing Ziggler with more strikes. Rollins then nails Ziggler with a roaring elbow strike. Rollins then corners Ziggler before landing a ton of more strikes. Rollins then hits Ziggler with a sling blade for a near fall. Ziggler recovers and he rolls up Rollins with his feet on the ropes for a near fall. Ziggler goes for a leaping DDT and Rollins counters with a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Rollins misses the springboard move and Ziggler throws him shoulder first into the ring post multiple times. Ziggler then hits Rollins with a zigzag for a near fall. Ziggler sets up for the super kick and Rollins lands one of his own. Rollins then drops Ziggler with a thrust kick. Brock Lesnar's theme hits and he makes his way to the ring with Paul Heyman. Ziggler grabs Rollins' leg and Lesnar hits the rings to attack Rollins. All right, so Rollins won by disqualification. Now, after the match, Brock continues attacking Seth Rollins before knocking him out of the ring. Lesnar then throws Rollins into the barricade a few times. Lesnar then hits Rollins with the German suplex on the arena floor. Lesnar then nails Rollins with an F5 into the ring post. Lesnar gets Rollins back in the ring as he goes back there with the steel chair. Lesnar would attack Rollins with the steel chair. Lesnar then nails Rollins with a series of F5 on the steel chair. Seth Rollins being loaded into the ambulance as Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch look on. Samoa Joe and the OCs attack Reigns and the Usos afterwards. Brock Lesnar blocks the ambulance from leaving. Lesnar drags Rollins onto the ambulance and off the stretcher. Lesnar proceeds to nail Rollins with the F5 on the stretcher. WWE officials check on Rollins as Lesnar leaves. Now, Samoa Joe makes his way to the ring for the Samoan Summit. Joe grabs the microphone and announces that the Samoan Summit has been canceled. Joe says he's here tonight to fight and he demands Roman Reigns come to the ring. Reigns obliges and makes his way to the ring. Reigns get in the ring as they brawl with Joe. The brawl spills out of the ring as Reigns attacks Joe more. Reigns grabs Joe, throws him into the barricade before landing headbutts. Joe fights back and he throws Reigns into the steps. Reigns recovers as he throws the ring steps at Joe. McIntyre arrives as he jumps Reigns before getting tossed into the crowd. Reigns and McIntyre have a brawl in the corner. Reigns and McIntyre make it back to the ringside area before Joe attacks Reigns. Joe and McIntyre will then double team Reigns as Cedric Alexander arrives. Alexander knocks McIntyre out of the ring before getting clotheslined by Joe. McIntyre and Alexander brawl up the stage and McIntyre throws Alexander into the LED screen. McIntyre then tosses Alexander off the stage. Joe and McIntyre attack Joe until the Usos come out. Well, and probably meant to say Joe and McIntyre attack Reigns until the Usos come out to make the save. The OCs come out and attack the Usos and a massive brawl breaks out between everybody. Alexander then leaps off the LED screens and takes out everybody. McIntyre gets Alexander in the ring and Alexander drops him with a drop kick. Anderson then crouches before Reigns returns to beat up the OC and McIntyre. Alexander takes out McIntyre with a suicide dive and the Usos then nail with a double super kick before Reigns nails him with a spear. And that's the end of Raw. All right, I'm gonna take a quick water break now that I got my water. It's only gonna be a couple seconds. All right. And with that, also, while I have a chance, I'm gonna go ahead and plug the other new sponsor for the segment that's gonna be coming up for the top W&B model of the week. And it's sponsored. Let me get this right. I gotta read this right now. This is like my first read, so y'all gotta bear with me, okay? All right, where is it at? Nope, not there. Hold on, guys. Give me a sec. Trust me, the better I get at this, the more I'll have the sponsor already. Just gotta bear with your boy, okay? All right, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Where is it at? Hey. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Like I said, the new sponsor for the top WB model of the week is Le Creme Nail Spa and is located at 4773 Broadway in New York, New York. And they're also on Instagram. I plug them on my Mr. 215 page, Mr. One Struggle 215. So make sure you go to my Instagram page and check that out. You ladies can get all y'all nail and beauty products from there. Like I said, it's a great friend of mine. She's really awesome, and I thank her for being one of the sponsors, not only of the J.Raw Wrestling podcast, but also One Struggle Radio podcast. And they'll be specifically sponsoring the top WB, which is Woman and Boy Shorts model of the week. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could go to that Facebook group. Also, the potential music and sports podcast sponsor is going to be Starlet's Gentleman's Nightclub up there in Brooklyn. But it ain't official yet. I'm still going to plug it because that's my people's. That's my bait. And, you know, I got to do it right. You know what I'm saying? Especially she sponsoring the segment here on the J.Raw Wrestling podcast. All right. So I got my water break. Let's go ahead into these SmackDown highlights. All right. So this was SmackDown, which was July 30th, 2019. All right. So we open up the show with a video from Shane McMahon, who says he won't be at SmackDown tonight and that he's going to be ready to end Kevin Owens' career at SummerSlam. Okay. So we get an announcement for tonight's main event between Raw's AJ Styles and the WWE champion Kofi Kingston, a champion for champion match. Okay. But before, we're told that Daniel Bryan is making his announcement tonight, and then Kevin Owens comes out to the ring. Kevin says that Shane really isn't there, and that's great news because maybe the show will be about the talent and not him. Kevin then talks about their match before saying that Shane doesn't belong in the ring with him, and that he will know that SmackDown Live is the Kevin Owens show before he goes to leave, and he's interrupted by Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew says Kevin talks too much and that he has a match against Drew before attacking him and sending him into the ring post in the announce table as we go to commercial. All right, so we come back from commercial and we get Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre. Kevin hits Drew with the right hand before sending him across the ring with the shoulder block before stomping him into the corner in a snap suplex for a 2 count. Drew locks in a straight armbar before Kevin gets to his feet and immediately drops him with the back elbow before chomping and stopping the French Canadian. Drew hits an overhead suplex for a 2 count before Kevin sends him into the ring post and a cannonball to the corner for a near fall. Drew catches Kevin on the top turnbuckle, and Kevin knocks him down before a frog splash for another near fall as we go to commercial. Kevin gets a near fall off of a flipping senton before Drew counters a stunner and hits a spinning sit down Uranagi for a near fall. Before Kevin super kicks Drew and hits a power bomb for a near fall, before Drew hits an air raid crash for yet another near fall. Drew then clears the Spanish announce table before he goes to put Kevin through it, and Kevin hits a stunner before they get back into the ring. And Kevin hits a super kick into a stunner for a pin to win. And there you have it. Kevin Owens going over on Drew McIntyre via pinfall with the stunner. All right, now, Dolph Ziggler is interviewed backstage about what happened last week between him, The Miz, and Shawn Michaels before saying that Shawn made a huge mistake and talks about how great he is before we cut to Ember Moon in the locker room. Before Bayley enters and they discuss their tag match up next before Bayley leaves as we go to commercial. All right, so we come back from commercial. Of course, we get Aleister Black cutting a promo in his dark room about how different he is and his addiction to fighting before we cut to clips of him facing Cesaro while he talks over it. All right, so after that, we get the match, female tag team match between Bayley and Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Ember and Alexa get things started before she drags Alexa into the corner. Bayley comes in and hit a snake eyes into a running drop kick through the turnbuckle before Ember hits a suicide dive to Nikki as we go to commercial. Alexa is in control of Bayley as we return to action. Alexa and Nikki isolating her in their half of the ring for several minutes until she sends Nikki out of the ring and fights Alexa off. Ember gets the tag and hits a fallaway slam into the running back elbow in the corner before Nikki with the clips. Alexa sends Ember into the ring post before hitting Twisted Bliss for the pin to win. And there you have it. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross going over on Ember Moon and Bayley when Alexa pins Ember with the Twisted Bliss. Now, after the match, Bayley hits Ember with the belly-to-belly suplex before she leaves, and we go backstage to Sami being interviewed before he mocks Aleister Black ahead of their match at SummerSlam. All right, so we come back from commercial to Daniel Bryan being interviewed, but he doesn't say a word and he leaves. All right, so next up, J.Raw comes out to the ring for King's Court and introduces his guest, Trish Stratus, before he asks her about her match against Charlotte at SummerSlam. Before Charlotte comes out to the ring and complains about not having a match at SummerSlam, before officially setting the match up between the two. We go backstage to the OCs where AJ talks about his match against Kofi Kingston before we get a segment of my favorite, the Firefly Funhouse, in which Rambling Rabbit talks about how much he likes Finn Balor before talking about The Fiend, and that Finn doesn't understand what the Funhouse really is before leaving as Bray shows up. Bray then just laughs and says to let him in while we see The Fiend as we go to commercial. All right, so we get a video recap of the vicious attack of Brock Lesnar on Seth Rollins last night on Raw. All right, so next up, we get Dolph Ziggler versus Finn Balor. Finn rushes Dolph and hits a sling blade for a near fall before Dolph hits the Famouser for a near fall of his own. Before Finn counters a super kick into a sling blade and a jumping stomp before he clotheslined Dolph over the top rope. The lights then go out before the Fiend appears in the ring and then disappears by the time the lights come on before Dolph super kicks him for the pin to win. And there you have it, Dolph Ziggler going over on Finn Finn Balor via pinfall with the super kick. All right, so next up, we get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ali. Ali immediately kicks Shinsuke out of the ring before hitting a diving crossbody for a 2 count and hitting a rolling sit-down face buster before Shinsuke comes back with an exploder suplex. Ali then super kicks Shinsuke while he goes for the Kinshasa before he misses a 450, and Ali counters with another Kinshasa before rolling up Ali for the pin to win. Whoa, ho. I read that wrong. Sorry. Ali counters another Kinshasa before rolling up Shinsuke up for the pin to win. And Ali goes over on Shinsuke via pinfall. Now we get an extended video package for Randy Orton's career ahead of his title match against Kofi Kingston. All right, so next up, we get the main event, Kofi Kingston versus AJ Styles. AJ puts Kofi in a side headlock before dropping him with the shoulder block and mocking him before they take each other down with side headlock takeovers. Kofi. Hold on, guys. Hello? Speaking. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna be able to really take a look at the Cheyenne or get it yet because I still owe less than $4,000 on my current vehicle that I want to trade in. I want to get it down to under like $3,000, at least like $2,000 before I trade it in. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, sorry about that, guys. Had to take a live call. All right, so I'll start over. Kofi Kingston versus AJ Styles. AJ puts Kofi in a side headlock before dropping him with the shoulder block, mocking him before taking each other down with the side headlock takeover. Kofi drops AJ with a jumping back elbow and a drop kick before clotheslining him. AJ over the top rope. AJ hitting a flying knee off the apron before sending him into the ring post and tosses him into the ring bell area as we go to commercial. AJ hits a running backbreaker and locks in a rear chin lock before he sets Kofi up top, and Kofi knocks him down before Kofi hits a tornado DDT and then a drop kick. Kofi hits a jumping leg drop kick before hitting a jumping stop for a near fall. AJ counters the Trouble in Paradise before Kofi hits the SOS for a near fall. AJ hits an Igazuri before Kofi hits one of his own and diving splash before Gallows and Anderson drag AJ out of the ring. The OCs then take out the New Day before AJ hits Yugoroshi on Kofi, hitting the Trouble in Paradise in midair, where AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm as we go off the air. All right, and then of course we get the crazy segment of Roman seeming unfazed when the equipment fall as we go off the air. And that was your Raw SmackDown highlights for this week, sponsored by Fightful.com. All right, now, of course, the WWE news is sponsored by Fightful.com. All right, y'all know I'll just get some quick tidbits, news items, WWE-wise for this week. Of course, I'm going to be doing the Ring of Honor and New Japan review. I'm probably going to do that, if not tomorrow, definitely Sunday, because I'm going to have to dedicate I'm going to have to break it up in 2 shows. I'm going to have to do Ring of Honor by itself because of the show in Massachusetts and the Mayhem matinee that was at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. So I'm going to have to do a separate Ring of Honor thing, and then I'm going to do just a basic recap of the whole G1 so far. The standings, the highlights of some of the matches, which one of the biggest highlight, of course, and I won't talk about it now, was my man Mox taking the L, but he still got 10 points. So we'll get in the G1. Like I said on the ROH and New Japan review that I do, if not tomorrow, definitely Sunday. All right, so let's get into WWE news sponsored by Fightful.com. Okay. Number one, WWE could be going back to having a split roster on a more consistent basis. That was reported by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He reports that the current plan is for the company to go back to using the split rosters on both Raw and SmackDown once October hits. Although both shows technically can have split rosters, crossover between both rosters in recent months have been consistent. All right, and some Nikki and Brie news. Nikki and Brie will be competing on an upcoming episode of Celebrity Family Feud airing August 18th. They'll be playing alongside their brother Jace J. Garcia, their mother Kathy Noronitis, and their cousin Lauren Jennifer Garcia for the V Foundation and Connor's Cure, while their opponents Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, Tyrone Woodley, looks like Alima Lee McFarland and Ryan Bader will be competing for the Andy Vargas Foundation. All right, and somewhat related to WWE, it has been announced on Twitter that the British promotion Defiant Wrestling, who was, I guess, founded by Wade Barrett, which originally opened its doors as 2016 as WCPC, has now shut down. And like I said, the company made an official announcement on Twitter. Okay. Finn Balor made an appearance on Fox Sports 1 coverage of the Major League Soccer All-Star Game to promote SmackDown's move to Fox in October, which was tweeted by Fox Sports. All right, here's a little bit of NXT news. As reported recently by Fightful Select, Tommaso Ciampa's expected return date, at least based on WWE's rundown, is in mid-August. Now, Ciampa underwent neck operation earlier this year that forced him to vacate the NXT Championship. And it should be noted that these dates are Harley strict guidelines instead of WWE's estimates of availability. And it wasn't mentioned if this is a clearance date or an in-ring return. All right, so the last NXT news is Tegan Knox has returned to in-ring competition. All right, members of the NXT roster were part of the brand's live event in Florida, while other members of the roster are currently competing at a live event in South Carolina. The Florida house show featured the return of the Wales native Tegan Knox. Tegan teamed up with Jessie Elaban and took on Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, and Tegan scored the victory for her team. All right, so going to take a little quick break real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and go into All Elite Wrestling, baby. Haven't got you guys caught up on BTE, and we got to roll the All Out recap as well. So I'm just take a quick little break for a few minutes, then we're going to come back, all right? All right, real quick. I'm going to do my plugs. Also, first, I want to plug, the showcase coming up August 31st here in Philly. You know what I'm saying? 700 West Table Road. That's that phenomenal franchise, that showcase. They can't do it like us. This time it's going to be a special twist on it. So make sure y'all go to eventbrite.com, get your tickets and show up. You know what I'm saying? Please support. The great artists and comedians. If y'all want to take a look, make sure you go to DJ Hardcore Productions and see last week's show of the installment They Can't Do It Like Us, where the Hook King Corey Williams was honored with the Majestic Award. So also real quick, want to make sure plug Le Creme Nail Spa, located on 4773 Broad Broadway in New York, New York. You can check them out on Instagram. You can check them out on my grand page. All you ladies, you make sure y'all get up there and get y'all, if y'all in the New York area, y'all shopping up in Times Square, whatever like that, make sure you go see my bae and her peoples. Get your nails done up, get your hair and your beauty products. Make sure y'all go to La Creme Nail Spa. Like I said, it's located up in New York, right on 4773 Broadway, New York, New York. The zip is 10034. Make sure y'all go check out the squad. Shout out to the go-getters, them starlets, the starlet go-getters. That's all I'm going to say right now. All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and get you guys caught up on the latest episode of Being the Elite, episode 163. It's time for that All Elite Wrestling. Don't forget, once again, stay tuned. I am going to be doing a live all-out podcast review of the anniversary of All In, All Elite Wrestling's All In. The goal is to get my butt out the StarCast and rub some of the top wrestling podcasters. Of course, my man Jimmy Van and SRS from Fightful.com. I'm definitely looking forward to hanging with them guys. They know how to party. So I'm looking forward to going into Chi-Town, my first time in the Chi-Town, and having a good time. All right. Just keep your fingers crossed and say a prayer for your boy. I get out there to Chicago. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Being the Elite, episode 163. All right. In this episode of Being the Elite, Baker was involved in this week's BTE mailbag segment and was asked how she's recovering from her injury and if she will be wrestling at AEW's All Out on August 31st in Chicago. She said, "Thank you to everybody who's been following up and giving all your support and concern. It means the world to me. You guys are really the best," Baker says. I'm doing fantastic. I'm feeling great. It was a rough couple of weeks originally, but now I feel good. I've been in care with AEW doctors and trainers, following up with the appropriate specialists, and everything's looking good. I'm hoping to get cleared any day now to get back into the ring, which takes us to All Out. And someone asked, will I be booked? She said, you're just going to have to wait and see. All right, here are the rest of the highlights of the latest episode of Being the Elite, 163. Now, the Young Bucks asked his kids to say happy birthday to Nick. They end up saying and doing the Cero Mero taunt to him. Nick flings his sunglasses in anger. All right, Cody helps Matt with his tie for their appearance at the TCA to make the announcement that AEW show will be live weekly on Wednesday nights, with the first show happening in DC, which your boy is definitely going to make his way out there. I grabbed them tickets. I got to go see the Revolution. All Elite, baby. All Elite right there, you know. Bullet Club is everywhere. That's all I'm going to say. Bullet Club is everywhere. All right. Numerous AEW stars are doing a photo shoot at the TCA, including Jungle Boy, who the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega says look leaner and meaner Kenny G. All right. So we see a trailer that was shown for the AEW TNT weekly show. Now, Private Party are enjoying some drinks at the bar. Young Bucks come up to say hi, but Atlas Security backs them up and says it's a private party and they can't be here. Matt says to Nick, how fast people change. Just last week, we signed their you-know-whats to a contract. Matt and Nick said they should have shown them what kind of parties they'll throw and go in for super kicks, but Private Party beats them to the punch with a pair of their own. The Young Bucks will face Private Party at House of Glory Wrestling High Intensity 8 on August the 9th. Daniels and Kazarian talk with Jungle Boy. They appreciate he's also from Southern California, but AEW is where the big boys play. Daniels questions if Jungle Boy thinks he and Luchasaurus are better than SCU. Jungle Boy stares at him as Luchasaurus lifts him on his shoulders. SCU tried to do the same thing, but they end up doing a reverse pile driver position and end up arguing with each other and head off. Daniels is looking at his phone as he goes into the women's dressing room. Referee Rich Knox is right there and tells him not to go in. This is not an intergender match. And not really paying attention, Daniels tries to go in and Knox starts up his count. Daniels then realized where he was headed and thanks Knox for doing a great job. BTE mailbag. Now I already read Dr. Britt Baker's segment, so Christopher Daniels is asked if he still does Waterworld show at Universal Studios. Daniels said he's no longer the full or part-time guy there, but he does make appearances from time to time to do the show. Now, Chris Jericho says after an intense negotiation, he agrees to answer one question on BTE Mailbag. He noted most of the questions were stupid, but the one he picked was Jericho's contract offer via a text message, a reference to CM Punk saying his offer from AEW was also via a text message. Jericho says AEW's president, Tony Khan, doesn't tweet or text him because he doesn't have Jericho's number. He's not in Jericho's inner circle. AEW had to call his 1-800 number and leave a message. Jericho says he made some hefty demands on the company and they should have 10 minutes of his time. A deal was made for a lot of money. Jericho jokes he had full control of not only his work, but the entire company. So whatever is good was his idea. And if something was bad, if it was bad, someone else had to handle it. Nick talks about turning 30, and Matt and Nick hype up tickets going on sale for the first AEW TV show in October, which they go on sale today. They probably all gone, but you just make sure to check the secondary ticket sites. You can get some tickets because I know I am. All right, now it's our recap to Roll the All Out episode 3. All right. Now, MJF talks about Cody, how he was the first person to believe in him. MJF says he has no problem saying he's a Cody Rhodes guy, just like I'm a Cody Rhodes guy. He continues that he's tired of the dumb fat Mark saying he's a brown noser and he thinks it's ridiculous when Cody is his best friend. MJF says Sean Spears was never a friend like he and Cody are. Spears just looked at Cody as a person he could rise to the top with by riding his coattails. Then he turns on him. MJF says he would never do that and call Spears a piece of sugar honey iced tea. FUCK. FU black block. Sean Spears. MJF then notes if he gets in the ring again with Spears, he'll knock him right on his you know what out cold. All right, so we see clips of Cody training while Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard head to the airport in a limo. Then the AEW office for a contract signing. Nick Sobek, AEW's VP of Business Operations, introduces Megan Parker, AEW and Jacksonville Jaguars Chief Legal Officer. She says working as a lawyer in the wrestling industry is one of the great professional challenges she had. Sobek and Partha are with Spears and Blanchard. They call Cody, but he declines the call. It goes to voicemail. So Sobek tells him they're all there and ready to go. Blanche chimes in and says to sign the contract. Spears get agitated that Cody isn't there yet. Blanchard notes that Cody usually comes to the ring with his entourage, like his wife, the dog, family members, but one of them can stay ringside. Blanche says he'll be in Spears' corner, so Cody should also only have one. we see Cody make his way into the meeting, and he walks into the room. And Spears says, "About damn time." Cody immediately signs the papers. Parker goes to mention the one change Blanchard wants is Cody says, "It's all good." He glances at Spears and heads out the room. During the scene, there's some items on the whiteboard. One says "More blood and guts," a reference to Vince McMahon's comments on last week's earnings call about AEW. All right. So, got some other wrestling news via Fightful.com. Going to give you guys an updated list of the participants for the 2019 PWG Battle of Los Angeles tournament. The tournament is taking place at the Global Theater in Los Angeles, California on September the 19th, 20th, and 22nd. About a week or so before my birthday. Oh, don't forget who's coming here for my birthday. And that's New Japan Pro Wrestling down at that 2300 Arena. Definitely getting tickets for that. All right, so let me read the list of the 2019 participants for the PWG Battle of Los Angeles tournament. A-Kid, The Octopus, Jonathan Gresham, Artemis Spencer, Darby Allin, Mickey Moretti, Orange Cassidy, Bandito, Caveman Ugg, Jake Atlas, Tony Deppen, Phoenix, Lucky Kid, Joey Janela, Brody King, Barboa Cavalero, Jungle Boy, Black Taurus, Ray Horace, and David Starr. All right. Kind of looking forward to the PWG tournament. I've seen it in past couple years, and it is a pretty dope tournament, just like the G1 and a couple other tournaments that's been going down. That's why the summer is a great time for wrestling. We get all the great tournaments. All right, so now the fun part of the weekly podcast show, and that's the segments. All right, we are finally at the segment portion of the J.Raw Wrestling Weekly Podcast. Once again, sponsored by Fightful.com. All right, now this week's top 10. We're doing top 10 stables. All right. The number 10, I got Chaos. Number 9 is Suzuki Gun. Number 8 is Lifeblood. Number 7 is LIJ, Los Injalables de Japón. Number 6 from Impact. Yes, Impact has cracked my top 10, and that'll be OVE. I like what OVE and Sami Callihan and Jake and the other Chris brother. I like that stable. And then they got Salt and Foyer who's playing this part. And I really love that match between Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan. Putting Impact right there. So that's why I had to put OVE on the top 10 stables. Of course, number 5 coming in from ROH. That be the Villain. Whoop, whoop. The Villain Enterprises with my new stable man. My man, the mercenary, Flip Gordon. That's right. Flip Gordon is in Flip Enterprises with Brody King, PCO, and the Villain, Marty Scurll. And they still holding on to 6-man ROH tag belts. All right. So number 4 got the New Day, of course, with my man Kofi, Big E, and Xavier Woods. Now the SmackDown Live tag champs. And, of course, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's right. Mr. Pancake Man himself, Kofi Kingston. All right, of course, number 3, we got the Bullet Club, because, of course, Bullet Club is everywhere. Shout out to the GODs, Switchblade Jay White. You know what I'm saying? Got to shout him out. Tokyo Pimp, Chase Owens. You know what I'm saying? Got to shout out the Bullet Club. I still, Bullet Club is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Another descendant of the Bullet Club that's in NXT that I got to get a number 2 spot to is that. I'm going to put it up. That's them UE boys right there. You know what I'm saying? Undisputed Era. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got Mr. Bay on that celebration tour. Of course, my man Roddy, he definitely gonna get that North American title from Velveteen Dream. Sorry, Velveteen, you might be out of my top 10 of champions, but Roddy got to get that. Remember, they all got a whole gold. And of course, at NXT Toronto Takeover, you're going to have the Street Profits defend against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. So that's why I had to put Undisputed Era at number 2. And of course, number 1 from All Elite Wrestling. That's right. The Elite. The Elite. That's right. That's my guy, the Mega Man, Kenny Omega. And the Brotherhood. That's right. Them Bucks. The Bucks of Youth, a.k.a. the Young Bucks. Of course, they number 1 in my top stable. So to recap real quick, number 10 is Chaos. Number 9 is Suzuki Gun. Number 8 is Lifeblood. Number 7 is LIJ, Los Inhalables de Japón. Number 6 is OVE. We got our first Impact crew making the top 10. Of course, number 5, ROH is Villain Enterprises. You got New Day. And number 4, number 3 is the Bullet Club. Number 2 is Undisputed Era. They still on that celebration tour. And of course, number 1, the Elite, baby. The Elite. The Elite. All right. So that's your top 10 for this week, and that's for the stables. Of course, we got the high spot of the week. That's the G1 tournament. I've been staying on top of that, watching it. It's been pretty phenomenal. Definitely Zack Sabre Jr., he's acting a fool again. This time he getting on Lance Archer nerves who want to kill everybody. I like that promo. I watched it last night. It was pretty good. The surprise, like I said, and I'll talk about it more on the recap of the G1 tournament. That's my man Mox taking the L, but I'm still picking Moxley to win. Between him and Will Ospreay, I'm still picking them to win the G1, one of them. All right, and the botch of the week, fortunately, it's got to be this SummerSlam pay-per-view card. I'm like, I commented that on Russell Cave group and also True Hills. Don't forget Mock Club boys. Don't forget them. Definitely share my thoughts. I'm like lukewarm on it, man. I think TakeOver, of course, is probably going to be better, like it always is, but I'm definitely going to watch it and do my recap. I'll probably do the predictions for SummerSlam and TakeOver Toronto next week sometime, so look out for that. All right, so now, my favorite, the new segment is called Top WB, which is my Facebook group Women and Boy Shorts. The top hashtag WB Female Wrestler of the Week, of course, is sponsored by Le Creme Nail Spa. And of course, without a shadow of a doubt, my woman crush wrestler, and I hope I don't get in trouble or don't mess up anything that potentially could be coming my way. But I definitely got to give it to the CBO of All Elite Wrestling. That's Brandy Rhodes. She got the great segment Shot of Brandy that I love. Kind of a spinoff on the Tipsy Bartender that I really like. But I got to shout out Brandy Rhodes. She is this week's top WB Female Wrestler of the Week. Of course, it's sponsored by Le Creme Nail Spa. Don't forget to go to Le Creme Nail Spa. That's up there in New York. The address is 4773 Broadway, New York, New York, and the zip is 1003. Make sure you check them out on Instagram. They're all on my gram page. So if you want to shoot the owner an email, make an appointment, or know more about the hair and skincare products they have. Also, they do a great job on the nails. Make sure you check my babe and her peoples out. Once again, that's Le Creme Nail Spa, located on 4773 Broadway, New York, New York. All right. Make sure you get your beauty and your cosmetic and personal care products from them. All right. So real quick, the quick editorial of the week. I ain't in the mood. I'm not really gonna bash WWE because nothing really to bash them about. They trying to turn a corner, especially with the wars going down this fall. My editorial, of course, is first and foremost, I'm glad to be home from being in the hospital. I don't want to say which hospital because my family gonna kill me. But I'm just glad to be home. I'm glad to be doing the podcast. Looking forward to my daughter starting college in a couple weeks. I don't want the waterworks to start, get emotional about it because I didn't been cool. I'm home. So just looking forward to her starting college in a couple weeks, communication major. You know, she inspired dad to do great things. So let me just cut this. Without further ado, I'm glad to be back. Once again, this is the J.Raw Wrestling Podcast for Friday, August the 2nd. I want to shout out, of course, the VP, Nose G. I also want to shout out my big bro from DJ Hardcore, from DJ Hardcore Productions. Don't forget the showcase coming up on August 31st. Of course, like I said, I'm planning not to be here and planning to be in Chicago and having a great time because Lord knows I need it. So, don't forget the new sponsors, and that is Fightful.com and also La Creme Nail Spa located up there in New York. Don't forget to go check my babe and her squad out. Make sure you get your beauty and personal hair care products and all like that. Like I said, y'all can tell I'm just glad to be back. This vase. Make sure you catch me on Castbox, boxfm.com. That's where you'll get the audio version of this video podcast today. I'll have it up definitely sometime today. Don't forget the NXT UK and 205 live review. Also look out this weekend for the ROH and New Japan review. Also, I'll be doing a more in-depth recap of the G1 Supercard. You know what I mean? That's been putting a smile on my face looking at that tournament. So, like I said, I'm just glad to be back on air like I never left. And I'm just going to podcast today. I hope everybody enjoy their Friday, enjoy their weekend. Take care. Peace.